Did you know that the plant that could save your life might be growing in your own backyard and you didn't even realize it? And the most incredible part is that it can be found almost anywhere. Today we're going to talk about aloe vera, an amazing plant that many people know about, but few truly understand its benefits. I'm also going to share some important prevention tips to help improve your health. But before we begin, I'd like you to comment below and tell me your age, so I can get an idea of the age group watching my videos. And let me know if you enjoy this kind of content. If you want to support me, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm sharing this information completely free of charge. I'm not here to fool anyone or sell anything. I have years of experience, and I simply want to share knowledge that may help many people. So go ahead and subscribe because that's free too. And now, without wasting any more time, let's get into the video. You believe there's a plant out there capable of curing cancer. You've heard it from someone in your family, from a neighbor, from a video that went viral in your social media feed. A green, spiny plant that grows in the backyard, on the porch, in a pot next to the kitchen window, aloe vera. And the story you've been told goes something like this. Cut off a leaf, scoop out the clear gel from inside, blend it with honey and a pinch of something, drink it on an empty stomach for 40 days, and the tumor shrinks. Disappears. Like magic. I need to tell you something that might be uncomfortable at first, but stick with me until the end, because I'm going to reveal the 3 most dangerous myths about aloe vera, the 3 real benefits that science has actually confirmed, and most importantly, the truth about what this plant can and cannot do for your body. And the last point is going to surprise you, because it involves a recent discovery that most people have never heard about. I've been a physician for nearly 20 years, and in those years, I've lost count of how many patients have walked into my office with homemade aloe vera remedies in their bag, thinking they were doing something good for their body, when in reality they were, in some cases, putting their own lives at risk. Not because the plant is the villain, but because nobody ever explained the difference between what it actually does and what the internet promises it does. I have to be honest with you. The title of this video asks whether aloe vera can cure cancer. And my commitment to you is medical truth, not sensationalism. So let me tell you straight up before we even get into the myths. In the entire history of modern medicine, no plant alone has ever been able to cure cancer in human beings. Not one. And anyone who tells you otherwise is either misinformed or trying to sell you something. That doesn't mean aloe vera is useless. Quite the opposite. It has fascinating properties that science is studying seriously. But curing cancer, in the sense of making a tumor disappear, is not one of them. Now let me introduce you to the first person who's going to help you understand this story. Margaret, 56 years old, a school cafeteria cook, born and raised in Birmingham, Alabama, mother of 4, grandmother of 7. She walked into my office on a Tuesday morning with an ultrasound report under her arm and red, swollen eyes. She'd been diagnosed with a lump in her breast. Small, still under investigation, but enough to keep her awake at night. And when she sat down, before saying anything, she opened her purse and pulled out a mason jar filled with a greenish liquid. She said, "Doctor, I've been drinking this aloe tonic for 3 months now, just the way my sister-in-law taught me. Do you think it's working? Look here." I looked at that woman, with her courage, with her faith, with her fear, and I had to be very careful with my answer, because that was not the moment for a lecture. That was the moment for guidance. And it was from that conversation that I truly understood, once and for all, the damage misinformation does in people's lives. The first myth I need to dismantle with you is the most common of all. The idea that aloe vera, by itself, can treat or cure cancer. This belief didn't come out of nowhere. It comes from a confusion between 2 completely different worlds. On one side, serious scientific studies have shown that certain compounds isolated from aloe vera in a laboratory environment inside a petri dish can trigger programmed cell death in some tumor cells. These compounds have complicated names, like aloe-imodin and aloine. And in bench studies, they've shown interesting effects against colon cancer cells, skin cancer cells, and leukemia cells. Here's where the danger lives. A study in a lab dish is the starting point of research, not the finish line. Between a cell on a plate and a complete human being, there's an enormous distance. Think with me. If I drop bleach onto a dish of cancer cells, those cells also die. That doesn't mean drinking bleach cures cancer. It just means that substance, in extremely high concentrations, kills cells. Any cells. A review published in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences analyzed dozens of these studies and was categorical. The anti-tumor effects observed in the laboratory have not been replicated in controlled clinical trials in humans. In plain English, translating to the exam room, the plant works on the dish, but it doesn't work the same way in a person's body. And worse, in some situations, aloe vera consumed in excess can interfere with real cancer treatments, disrupting the effect of chemotherapy or causing severe intestinal irritation. And you know what else? Researchers at the National Cancer Institute actually conducted studies with aloe imodin given to patients with advanced tumors. The result? No significant reduction in tumors. In some cases, serious side effects like severe diarrhea and dangerous drops in potassium levels. Here's the point. Aloe vera is not a cancer treatment. Anyone telling you otherwise is selling false hope. Now, before I reveal the other two myths, and especially the real benefits, I need to ask you something. If this content is helping you, if you're learning something that maybe nobody ever explained to you this clearly, hit the like button right now. That simple gesture helps this video reach more people who are out there right now searching for honest answers. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do it now and turn on notifications. Tell me in the comments which state you're watching from. I love seeing where this community is growing. The second myth is more subtle, but equally dangerous. It's the idea that everything from the aloe plant can be taken orally, without distinction. This belief is responsible for a huge number of emergency room visits I've seen in my practice. The aloe leaf is divided into three main parts: the green outer skin, a yellowish layer just beneath the skin, and the clear gel in the center. The clear gel, when processed correctly, is the safe part, the part that contains most of the beneficial properties. The yellowish layer, known as latex, contains a substance called aloin, which is a powerful laxative. And it's exactly this part that causes problems when consumed without guidance. Pay attention to this detail. Back in 2002, the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, banned the sale of over-the-counter laxatives containing aloin. Why? Because long-term use of that substance was linked to colon damage, electrolyte imbalances, and, in animal studies, an increased risk of intestinal tumors. Look at the size of the irony here. The plant some people use thinking it prevents cancer, when consumed from the wrong part, may actually contribute to the opposite problem. Mr. Robert, 68 years old, retired construction foreman, living in Phoenix, Arizona, married to the same woman for 42 years, came to my office with a complaint he would never have connected to the plant growing in his backyard. Chronic diarrhea for 8 months, 15 pounds of weight loss, weakness in his legs, leg cramps at night. He had started taking, every morning, a tablespoon of aloe blended with the skin, with everything, thinking that was pure health. When I understood what was going on, I asked, "Mr. Robert, and how does that taste?" He answered, "Doc, it's bitter enough to make my eyes water, but I swallow it because it's medicine." That bitterness was the aloin. And that aloin was emptying his intestines day after day, taking potassium, magnesium, and water along with it. The blood test showed low potassium, a condition that can even cause heart arrhythmia. We stopped the aloe. In 3 weeks, the diarrhea was gone. In 2 months, he had regained the weight. Look what a plant consumed the wrong way can do. And the third myth is the one that worries me the most, because it's the most romantic. It's the belief that, because something is natural, aloe vera has no side effects, doesn't interact with medications, and can be taken freely. This idea that natural means harmless is one of the oldest and most dangerous lies in folk medicine. Aloe vera interacts with diabetes medications, potentially dropping blood sugar too low. It interacts with diuretics, increasing potassium loss. It interacts with blood thinners, raising bleeding risk. It interacts with heart medications, with steroids, with blood pressure drugs. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Pharmacology listed more than 15 documented relevant interactions. Natural is not a synonym for safe. It never was. Now that you understand what aloe vera is not, let me show you what it actually is. Because it would be unfair to tear down the myths without honoring the truths. And the truths are fascinating. The first real benefit, confirmed in dozens of clinical studies, is its action on digestive health. Aloe gel, consumed in the correct form and at the right dose, has shown anti-inflammatory effects on the lining of the stomach and intestines. A study published in the Journal of Research in Medical Sciences followed patients with irritable bowel syndrome who received processed aloe vera juice for 8 weeks. The results showed a meaningful reduction in symptoms of abdominal pain and discomfort. Think of the intestine as a 25-foot highway that handles traffic every single day. Chronic inflammation along that highway is like potholes in the pavement, like faded road signs, like toll booths jamming up traffic. Aloe gel, with its polysaccharides like ace-mannan, works like a maintenance crew that helps patch the potholes and smooth the path. It's not a definitive cure. It's maintenance, it's support, it's care. The second real benefit is in wound healing and skin health. Here the science is robust. The gel applied topically on first and second degree burns accelerates the regeneration process. A study conducted in Thailand compared the use of aloe vera with conventional treatment in burn patients. Healing was, on average, 9 days faster in the group that used the plant. Ace-mannan stimulates collagen production and has mild antimicrobial action. And the third benefit, the most surprising and most recent, is its action on blood sugar control in people with prediabetes. A meta-analysis published in the Journal of Clinical Pharmacy and Therapeutics reviewed 9 clinical studies and concluded that consuming aloe vera in standardized supplement form was associated with a reduction, on average, in fasting blood glucose in patients with altered glucose levels. The reduction was modest, but statistically significant. And here's where the conversation gets really important. This effect happens because some compounds in aloe vera appear to improve cell sensitivity to insulin. Think of it this way. Insulin is the key that opens the door of the cells so sugar can enter. In someone with insulin resistance, the lock is rusted shut. Aloe vera, in correct doses, seems to put a little oil on that lock. It does not replace medication. It does not replace diet, but it can be a supportive tool. And here's the detail nobody tells you. This benefit only appears with standardized products, with controlled extraction, with the aloin removed. The homemade tonic, blended with the skin on, does not produce this effect. It can even produce the opposite effect, with excessive potassium loss causing worse glucose control. The difference between poison and remedy, very often, lies in the way it's prepared. And whenever you consider adding aloe vera to your routine, talk to your doctor. That's a rule that never changes. Especially if you take any daily medication, if you have any chronic condition, if you're in cancer treatment, or if you're pregnant. Aloe vera is contraindicated during pregnancy. It may stimulate uterine contractions. What hurts me most as a physician is not seeing a patient with a serious diagnosis. It's when that patient tells me, "Doctor, I delayed my appointment because I was drinking aloe. I thought it was going to fix it." Delaying a cancer diagnosis by 3 months, by 6 months, can be the difference between a treatable disease and an advanced one. It's not the aloe that kills. It's the delay. It's the trust and a promise the plant could never keep. Back to Margaret. She had the biopsy, received her diagnosis, started conventional cancer treatment. She had surgery, chemotherapy, radiation. Today, 2 years later, she's in remission. And she told me, at her last visit, with that smile of someone who's been through a transformative experience, "Doctor, something feels different inside. I see health in a whole new way now." She still uses aloe, but she uses the pure gel on her skin, on small kitchen burns, on scratches, on irritations. She uses it for what the plant actually does well. She doesn't use it as a miracle anymore. Let's recap what we learned today. Aloe vera does not cure cancer. No plant alone cures cancer. The skin and the yellow layer of the leaf contain aloin, an aggressive laxative that should not be consumed without guidance. Aloe vera interacts with several medications and has real contraindications, especially during pregnancy. The real and proven benefits are in digestive health, skin healing, and modest support for blood sugar control, always with standardized products and with medical supervision. Your body is not a backyard experiment. It's a complex, sensitive system that deserves respect. When someone offers you a miracle promise, remember this conversation. Remember that natural can heal, but it can also harm. Remember that between the clear gel in the center of the leaf and the green skin on the outside, there's a difference that can change the course of a life. Share this video with that aunt who keeps an aloe jar in the fridge, with that neighbor who swears the plant cures everything, with that friend who's about to start a homemade treatment without talking to her doctor. You may be passing along information that changes an important decision in someone's life. In the next video, I'm going to reveal the 5 herbal teas that promise miracles and may quietly compromise your liver instead. One of them is in almost every American kitchen cabinet, sold as if it were completely harmless. You're not going to want to miss it. Take care of your body with real information, because health is like that aloe leaf. From the outside, everyone sees the same thing. But on the inside, it's the clear gel, it's the right care, it's the simple truth that makes all the difference.